As you sit there, noticing the rhythm of your breath, you can already feel that spark inside you, can't you? That quiet hum of energy, like a guitar string vibrating before the song opens. You've always had this. You're already a master of noticing patterns. How someone's eyes shift when they're nervous. How your gut clenches when you hesitate. How the world seems to slow down when you're in the zone. That's your nervous system, your own personal orchestra, playing a symphony you didn't even know you were conducting. And as you listen to that hum, you can begin to realize you're already doing this. You're already shaping reality with every choice, every pause, every move. Imagine you're standing on a cliff, looking out over a vast ocean. The waves crash below, wild and chaotic. But from up here, you see the whole pattern. Currents weaving, tides rising, storms dancing. That's your life when you chunk up. You see the big picture. Every fear, every hesitation, every stuck moment is just a wave in the ocean of your existence. And you're the lighthouse, steady and unshakable, guiding ships through the storm. When you chunk up, you tap into your values, freedom, love, growth, legacy, and you realize that every small action ripples out to shape the world. Why does this matter? Because if you don't chunk up, you're stuck in the weeds, obsessing over one text, one mistake, one glance that didn't land right. You're a sailor panicking over a single wave while the whole ocean laughs. Science backs this. Your prefrontal cortex lights up when you zoom out, connecting dots, seeing meaning. Without it, your amygdala, your fear center, runs the show screaming danger at every shadow. Karma's a bitch here. Stay small and you'll drown in details. Zoom out, you become the captain of your destiny. Now zoom in like a jeweler inspecting a diamond. Notice the tiny facets, how you already interrupt patterns without thinking. Like when you crack a joke to lighten a tense room. Or when you ask a friend, wait, why do you think that? And watch their brain glitch for a second. You're already a hypnotist, a pattern breaker, a reality shaper. You do this when you smile at a stranger and their shoulders relax. Or when you choose to breathe instead of snap back in an argument. These are micro moves, tiny brush strokes on the canvas of your life. Let's get specific. Say you're at a party and someone's droning on about their rigid opinion. You already know how to pace them. You nod, mirror their words and say, so, you're saying you really value fairness. Boom, you've paced their value. Then you lead. What if fairness also meant listening to the other side? The brain stumbles, opens, and you've just planted a seed. Or when you're stuck in your own head, beating yourself up for not exercising. You already chunk down when you notice. I feel like shit when I skip the gym. That's your cue. Ask yourself, what's one small move I can make today? Maybe it's a 5-minute walk. That's a win. Dopamine fires, neurons connect, and your brain starts craving more. Science says this works because of neuroplasticity. Every tiny action carves a new neural pathway. Skip the gym, and your brain wires, I'm lazy. Do one push-up, and it wires, I'm moving. Stack enough micro wins, and your identity shifts from I'm stuck into I'm a fucking warrior. But if you don't act, karma's brutal. Avoidance becomes a habit. Shame calcifies, and you're stuck in a loop of I'll start tomorrow. That's not life. That's a slow fucking death. Picture yourself as a dance partner moving in sync with someone's rhythm. You don't stomp on their toes, you match their steps. Feel their tempo. then gently guide them into a new move. That's pacing and leading. You already do this when you comfort a friend by saying, I get how tough this is, before suggesting, what if we tried this instead? You're pacing their pain, their values, then leading them to possibility. So let's elicit your values. What's important to you? Freedom, love, respect, security, adventure? Notice how these words light up your chest, like a fire warming a cold room. Let's say you value connection. You already pace it when you listen deeply, nodding as someone shares their story. Now lead. What if you could connect even deeper by sharing something vulnerable? Their mirror neurons fire, syncing with your calm, and they lean in. You've just built rapport, not by forcing, but by inviting. Science says mirror neurons, they make people copy your state. When you're steady, they stabilize. When you're chaotic, they scatter. Karma. If you don't lead with sincerity, you're just manipulating. And people smell that shit a mile away. But when you're real, they follow. Imagine fear as a dragon guarding a treasure chest. You've been running from it, thinking it's going to eat you. But what if that dragon is just testing you? What if fear is not the enemy, but the fucking compass pointing to your gold? Every time you feel scared, heart racing, palms sweaty, that's your nervous system saying, here's the edge, jump. You already reframe when you laugh off a mistake instead of spiralling. Like when you trip in public and say, well, I just gave everyone a show. That's reframing, turning a fuck up into a story. Here's an example. You're afraid to speak at work because you think they'll judge me. Reframe it. What if speaking up makes them see me as bold? Science says cognitive dissonance kicks in here. Your brain hates holding two conflicting ideas, so it leans toward the new one. Future consequence, if you keep quiet, you shrink, your confidence erodes, you become invisible. But if you reframe fear as a signal to act, you grow. You become the guy who speaks truth, and people lean in. Karma rewards courage with respect. It punishes silence with regret. So why do you hesitate? Because your amygdala is screaming. Change equals danger. It's like a smoke alarm going off when you're just cooking bacon. You learn this early. Maybe a parent snapped, don't make waves, or a teacher shamed you for a wrong answer. Now your brain is wired to avoid judgment, to play small, to seek approval. That's why you feel like shit when you don't exercise, or when you dodge a tough conversation. You're not lazy. You're trapped in a neural loop of safety means survival. Science explains it. Your brain's default mode network overthinks, personalizing every glance, every silence. They'll think I'm stupid. I'm not enough. That's just old data, shitty forecasts from childhood. But here's the kicker. Neuroplasticity means you can rewrite this. Every time you act despite fear, you prune those old synapses and build new ones. Dopamine rewards risk. Serotonin stabilizes courage. And your brain starts craving growth over safety. The top patterns that trap you. Catastrophizing. If I fail, it's over. Like thinking one burnt toast means you're a shit chef. Failure, it's just feedback. Personalizing, it's all my fault. Like blaming yourself for the rain. You're not the storm. You're the dancer in it. Generalizing, this always happens. Like swearing off love because one date sucked. One flop doesn't define the game. Minimizing wins. It's not a big deal. Like tossing out gold, because it's not a vault. Every win is a brick in your fortress. People pleasing. If they're happy, I'm safe. That's slavery, not safety. Your stability is your power. These are neural parasites sucking your energy. Interrupt them with a pattern break. Ask, what if the opposite were true? Watch your brain glitch, then rewire. You're already a hypnotist. When you cheer up a friend with a story, you're pacing their mood and leading them to laughter. When you decide to take a deep breath instead of yelling, you're stabilizing your nervous system, radiating calm. When you notice someone's body language shift and you adjust your tone, you're reading patterns like a fucking jazz musician riffing off the crowd. You just don't call it hypnosis. You call it living. So try this next time someone is stuck. Ask, what's important about that? They'll spill their values, love, security, respect. Echo it. So you really want to feel secure. Then lead. What if saying no right now made you feel safer? Or with yourself, when you're procrastinating, chunk down. What's one tiny step? Maybe it's putting on gym shoes. That's it. Your brain registers a win. Dopamine spikes and you're moving. Why is this important? Why does it work? Because your brain is a prediction machine. Every thought is a guess about what's next. Every feeling a forecast about survival. Change the prediction. Fear means go. Instead of fear means stop. And you change the game. Neuroscience says confusion opens a neural window. When your brain is surprised, it's suggestible, ready to install new code. That's why Erickson used paradox. He'd say, you don't need to change until you do. Your brain scrambles, then rewires. Karma, the cause and effect engine. Ignore this and you're stuck in Groundhog Day. Same fears, same fights, same regrets. Act and you ripple coherence outward. One bold move inspires a friend, shifts a room, changes a life. The universe mirrors your energy. Play small, get small results. Play big, and doors open you didn't even know existed. If you embrace this, your life transforms. You walk into a room, and people feel your presence like a warm campfire. You speak, and they listen, not because you're loud, but because you're coherent. Your confidence stacks like bricks. Your relationships deepen. Your creativity explodes. You're not just living. You're conducting the fucking symphony of your life. Science says this is mirror neurons at work. Your calm infects others. Your courage inspires. Your clarity magnetizes. If you don't, you rot. Hesitation becomes identity. Shame hardens into I'm not enough. Opportunities pass, relationships fade, and you're left with a beige life, scrolling endlessly to numb the pain. Karma's not cruel, it's just honest. Inaction votes for entropy. Action votes for evolution. You're scared people will judge you, think you're weird, or reject you. That's your amygdala, wired to protect your tribal status. But here's the truth. People don't judge courage. They judge fakery. When you're real, they lean in. When you're hiding, they smell it. Reframe judgment as curiosity. What if they're just updating their view of me? Science says exposure therapy rewires fear. Every small risk normalizes the unknown. making you anti-fragile. And as you notice your breath now, you can feel that shift, can't you? Like a river finding its flow. Your unconscious, it's already installing this. Confusion is your doorway. Fear is your compass. Action is your freedom. Every time you feel stuck, you'll ask, what is the smallest move? Every time fear whispers, you'll smile, knowing it's just energy waiting to be redirected. You're not a prisoner. You're a fucking architect, building a life of resonance. Imagine this. 10 years from now, you're standing tall, radiating calm. People lean in when you speak, not because you're perfect, but because you're real. You've failed 100 times, and each failure was a brick in your fortress. You acted despite fear, and each action was a note in your symphony. That's the future you're choosing now. And your unconscious knows. You're not just learning this, you're becoming it. This isn't self-help. It's physics, biology, karma. You're an electrical grid, a conductor of frequencies, a ripple in the ocean of existence. Chunk up, and you see your life's purpose. Chunk down, and you build it step by step. Pace and lead, and you transform yourself and others. Reframe fear as fuel, and you turn dragons into allies. Science says your brain rewires with every action. Karma says your choices shape destiny. The universe doesn't care if you're perfect. It cares if you're moving. So move, damn it. Interrupt the loops. Ask the questions. Embrace the confusion. You're not just a player. You're the fucking game. And as you step into this now, your unconscious locks it in. You're the architect, the lighthouse, the symphony. You've always been. Now fucking own it.